Okay, so next we're going to talk about transformations and what will happen to the graph doing that. So basically what we're going to do with this is we're going to use our formula y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. And I'm going to actually insert a page. Y equals a x minus h squared plus k. And what I'm going to go over is what each one of these letters basically does to the graph. So the A tells you the direction. Is it going to open up like this, or is it going to open down? So basically, if A is positive, it's going to open up. If A is negative, it's going to open down. And what we say, if it opens down, we're going to say it's going to reflect across the x-axis. So that's what we're going to say. So it's going to open down, but it's going to also reflect over the x-axis. Okay? And then also, if A is 1 or greater, if A is 1 or greater, basically the graph will stretch. That makes sense, right? Okay, so that's some things we got to know about A. Okay, H. So H is that little crazy one. Remember, I always tell you got to change the sign. So basically, it's going to be the opposite of what you think. So if we get H, and say it is, this is how it's written, x minus 5 squared. The easiest thing to do is to pull it out, and it becomes positive 5. And so it would go to the right if it's like that. Okay? But pull it out and change it, and it tells you which direction. So let's wonder if we got x plus 5 squared. So we're going to pull it out of the parentheses, and it changes to negative 5. So negative 5 would go to the left. So always pull your h out, change the sign, and it'll tell you which way it goes. So once you change it to a positive, it'll go right. If you change it to a negative, it'll go left. Okay? And K is just straightforward. I think that's one of the easiest ones. If K is positive, it's going to go up so many. If K is negative, it will go down. So for instance, if I had y equals x minus 5 squared plus 2. So our K is right here. So that means my graph would go up 2. If I had this one here, x minus 5 squared, and I had minus 2, that means this is my K, it will go down 2. So we're going to use that to practice some of these. So the first thing I always do is just identify my my A, my H, and my K. So I'm just going to write above it, H is here, H, and then K. So if I ask you for the transformation, A, we know it's going to open up. So I'm just going to write this. It's going to open up. Okay, your H is a positive 2, so I'm going to pull it out, make it a negative 2. So the directions it's going to go is left 2. Okay, and then my K is negative 5. So remember, it would go down 5. So that's the transformations that will happen in that. Okay, so you can pause this video and try the other ones. Now I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to label my A, my H, and my K. So A is a positive 2. So I know it's going to open up. And because now it's a number greater than 1, it's going to stretch by 2. Okay? My H is -5, so I'm going to change it to +5. +5 goes right 5. Okay. Then my K is +3, so it's going to go up 3. Okay. So try the rest of those. So you can pause the video, whatever you need to do. So I want to try these here. Okay. So here we have a fraction in front. So if A, and I'm just going to identify my A, H, and K. Let's always do that. So if A is a fraction, it's going to always shrink, sorry. And I don't think I said that before. But if it's less than 1, it's going to shrink. And then also, this one is positive, so I know it's going to open up. So that's key. So it's going to open up because it's positive. Then let's look at our H. It's +5. We change it to -5. And so it's going to go left 5. Okay? My K is -3. So it's going to go down 3. Okay? So pause the video and try the other ones. Okay, so my next type, I want to identify my A, my H, and my K. So if you look here, my A is by that negative sign, but it's understood to be a 1 in front. So A is -1. So automatically I know the negative. It is going to go down, and it's going to reflect across the X. So reflect across the X. Across X-axis. And I'm going to shorten this. Okay? So H was +5. We changed it to -5. So it will go left 5. And then K is +3. So it will go up 3. So pause the video and try the next ones. Okay, so the next ones, I'm going to go ahead and label my A, H, and K. Okay, my A is -2. So first it's negative. So negative says it's going to open down. It's going to reflect across the X. So reflect across X axis. And I'm shorting this. So reflect across the X axis. This 2 is bigger than 1. So it's going to stretch. So it's going to stretch by 2. Okay? So A can tell you a lot of different things. H is +4, so we change it to -4. So it will go left 4. And then K is -8, so it will go down 8. Okay, so the next type here, we have our A here, our H, and our K. Okay, so our A is negative, so we know it's going to open down. It's going to reflect, and it's really hard to write on this, reflect across the x-axis, and it's a fraction, so it's less than 1. So instead of stretching, it's going to shrink by 1/2. Shrink by 1/2. Then my H was a -9. We're going to change it to a +9. So it's going to go right 9. And then K is -8. So it's going to go down 8. So pause the video and do the rest of these. Okay, so the next one here, we're going to go ahead and label our A, H, and K. Now a lot of people get confused with this one because they were like, where's the K? Well, there's no K, so we can put a +0, which is no, 0 is neither positive or negative, but I put it. So A is positive, so we know our graph is going to open up because it's a 1. It's understood to be a 1 if there's nothing there. H, we're going to change to -3, so it's going to go left 3, and then it's not going to go up or down because K is 0. So easy. So do the rest of them. Now, pause the video and do them. Now we're going to do this one. So we need to label our A, H, and K. So with this one,
Mommy.
with this one, and I should have put the square behind these. So on your paper, add the square because I forgot to add that on there. Okay, so let's label our A, H, and K. So our A is there. And I guess we can put our H there if we need to. And this is our K. Okay, so A is 2. So we know it's going to open up. And it's going to stretch by 2. And our H. If you look there, we really don't have a number for H. So H is not going to do anything. It's not going to go right nor left. So your graph is not going to shift that direction. The only thing it's going to do is K is 7. So it's going to go up 7. So these two are kind of like the opposites. Where this one didn't go up or down. It just went right or left. This one here doesn't go left or right. It just goes up or down. So that's the way it is. And guys, if I added a negative in there, like if I added a negative, it just basically, so if I add a negative there, the only thing what will happen is that it will reflect across the x-axis.